What's going on YouTube? We're back here with another video on KO09, man. We're going to be doing a Beryl build guide video here for you guys, and this is going to be my Beryl that I built, and which I think is insane. Like, the stuff that Beryl could do is insane, okay? But I hope y'all enjoy the build video. Like, subscribe, run up. Let's get to it. So with Beryl, we're going to start off with her cards. Honestly, you probably want to take away all three of these cards when you're making your runs in Chaos. Get rid of all three of these cards over here. And opening found is going to be the most important card here. To be fair, there is another build you could do for Beryl, but we're not going to be talking about that one. That one's going to be, you know, just using Beryl as a, you know, drawer by having, you know, a whole bunch of guilty pleasures, like 3 of these. But that's not the build we're doing here today. It's going to be revolving around the opening found and getting the upgrade. So with the upgrade, you get when retained own cards, 150% extra attack to random enemies. So for all the retained cards that Beryl has that's in your hand, once you end your turn with all those cards in your hand, all those retained cards in your hand, she's gonna be hitting per card for 150%. So when you do make your runs, you actually want to copy this card as much as you can. It could get insane. If you have multiple of these cards, she's going to be hitting so much per, you know, retained card that you have in your hand when you end your turn. So yeah, upgrade card over here is the game changer for this Beryl build for sure. And I'm gonna quickly get into my save day. I don't have the best, still grinding, you know, but as you can see, I have 2 of these, but I also have 2 of these heavy point specials, and I also have this as well, just so I have another card that, you know, has retain in it. So yeah, I just end up just hitting for a whole bunch. And let me tell you something, she makes Judas a walk in the park. So for anyone that's struggling on Judas, just level up Beryl, do a chaos run, try to get the upgrade card, and trust me, you are going to be good. Okay, she's gonna be insane. But yeah, upgrade card's gonna be so amazing for this build, and she's just gonna be attacking a crap ton. Okay, now because you're using that build, it kind of doesn't really matter what epiphanies you choose for all these other ones, honestly, because you're not going to be using your charge shot because you want to keep it in your hand so Beryl could keep attacking once your turn's done. Obviously having the guilty pleasure is going to be a nice, you know, if you could get 2 of these, or if you could get the one that has draw 3 then draw 2 the next turn, might not be bad, or even the 1 morale just so you have extra damage. If you could get like it's hard to copy a whole bunch of cards, but the dream would be to have like 3 of these, like 2 of these, and maybe like 2 or 3 of these as well, if I'm being honest. Like, that would be the dream. Now I don't know if that's even possible to copy that many cards, but yeah, if you could get the one that has the 1 morale or draw 2, that could be really nice for this build, because, you know, it's going to be drawing more cards, and hopefully you could get more retained Beryl cards, or the upgrade card for her, and the morale is going to be able to make her do, you know, just a bit more damage as well. Then with the unlimited firepower, this is basically not going to matter as well. Obviously the best one's usually to go for this one, increase damage amount of attack cards of this unit by 30%, but this is not really going to matter for this Beryl build, because as I said, you're most likely not going to be using her attack cards anyways, because you're going to be leaving them for the upgrade card over here, you know, to attack multiple times. So if anything, you could get rid of this card if you want to as well, if you want to go that route. Then over here we got the heavy weapon specialist. This card is going to be amazing for Beryl, so that's why you could see that I have another dupe on that one as well, because if you could create more retain cards for her, that upgrade card is going to allow her to do more attacks, which is going to equal into more damage. It's as simple as that. Now with her partners, I don't know if this is like a text problem or if it's a me problem. But you see how I have one dupe on her and it says the assigned combatant's extra attack damage is increased. That's what you want. You want extra attack damage, because when Beryl ends her turn and she's hitting for all those retained cards that she has in her hand, that counts as extra attack damage, I believe. But when I had this card at level 1, when I didn't have any dupes, it just said like additional attack. So I don't know if that's like, oh yeah, where's the card? Like this one has, oh, one plus hit, so the second hit, you know, additional damage, you know. So I don't know what's going on with the partners and the text. Maybe I'm tripping, maybe the game's tripping. But yeah, when she get a dupe, it says extra attack damage. That's gonna be the one you want. So, and this one comes with her for free, so it's really nice. When the assigned combatant uses an upgrade or skill card, 32% chance to gain 1 morale for 1 turn, which is really nice because she's going to be using upgrades and skill cards. Look, 3 skill cards over here and the upgrade card over here. I mean, I really shouldn't count this one because you probably could get rid of this one as well if you're doing this Beryl build. And honestly, I know there's 5-star ones here, but I'll say Rosario is probably the best one to go for unless you're well, because number 1, Rosario is free. Number 2 is probably going to be a lot more easier to get dupes, so her percentages are going to go a lot more higher, which is going to just help you a lot more. And yeah, I would say, you know, Rosario or Daisy as well is pretty good as well, especially for that morale. But yeah, Rosario is free, just use her on Beryl and you're gonna be eating, like it's gonna be good enough. Celia does do extra attack damage, but she also has this, and you're not gonna exactly be using your attack cards, so but yeah, she is from the battle pass, so that means she is only paid to get her. She's only order. She looks cool as hell, by the way. Hold up, she looks pretty, like she looks good and cool at the same time, man. I actually mess with her design. Then Marin, she also does extra attack damage as well of cards generated by the assigned combatant's abilities, increased by 15%. When a skill card is used for the first time by assigned combatants each turn, 25% damage amount to extra attack. I mean, she does sound pretty good with Beryl, but I would just say just go with Rosario, man. Potentials, because of this Beryl build and because you're not actually going to be using the retain cards, you don't have to really level any of these 3 up, if I'm being honest, because you just want your retain cards to stay in your hand. So, you know, yeah, just level them up just so you could get to the other ones over here. I literally just recently built my Beryl, so that's why she's kind of slipping. But obviously you want to get this to 5 as soon as possible, and you want to get this to 5 as well. So level up the crit chance and the critical damage. This one over here plus 5% damage to amount to Beryl's launcher and charge launcher, you don't really need, because as I said, you're not really using her cards. They're just there to stay in her hand. Okay, this one over here plus 10% Beryl's exposed weakness damage if Beryl's critical damage is greater than 230. This one, the first part's pretty decent, but you could get away with not leveling this up as well. So what makes this Beryl build really nice is that you don't really have to invest too much into it. Like, it's just literally level this up to 5, level this up to 5, and you're pretty much done. You don't have to level up anything else, honestly, because you're not exactly using her attack cards. You're just keeping them in your hand so you could just do a whole bunch of attacks. So yeah, she's really low investment, and I think this is what makes her amazing, especially her being free and her partner that's honestly best in slot being free as well. It just makes Beryl just like really good to build. Like, if you're not building Beryl, I don't know why you're not, man. It's super fun as well when you get the combo off as well. So nice. And it's so easy to get that combo. Like, there's not really any RNG into it. Like, you're gonna get them retain cards. You're gonna, you know, if you obviously it depends on your chaos run, but you're gonna get them that upgrade card, and yeah, she's just gonna pop off once that moment hits. Next one I want to get into is the memory fragments. So you guys can see I got the 2 set. So 12% attacks obviously gonna help because you're gonna want her to deal damage, and she's going to be dealing a crap ton of damage. Now the 2 set plus 25% critical damage is going to be really nice if you get the good crit rate. Obviously, you know, the additional crit damage for higher numbers is going to be nice, and 12% defense is just there for, honestly, like, I don't know why it's there. Maybe for more survivability. Actually no, it's only there because it was the only piece that had justice damage on. Yeah, and it has high critical damage, so yeah, it just worked really well. But obviously for the gear. Now the two set defense, like you don't have to do that. It's just that you want the 2 set critical damage and you want the 2 set 12% attack. So yeah, there wasn't really much to choose on after that. You could go HP, you could go defense, you could go what you want. I don't know, I think in the future there might be something that comes out, especially because there's nothing for blue units over here, I believe, right? We have instinct, order, passion, and yeah, we don't have anything for the blue one. So yeah, maybe something in the future that comes out that could be a 2 set or whatever could work really nice for Beryl. But obviously the first 3 ones are always going to be fixed stats, so attack, defense, HP. What you want on your substats is probably critical rate, critical damage, attack, extra attack damage, and you probably most of the time want it to go into extra attack damage or critical rate, and that's going to be best in slot. Obviously at the ideal one, you probably want to have critical chance. For now, as I said, I don't know if it's gonna ever get to that point where you could run critical damage here instead, because you have enough critical rate in your substats or whatever. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Maybe there might be a character that comes out in the future that buffs critical rate, then you could start going critical damage over here. But yeah, the desire one, obviously justice damage, attack. I don't know if anyone's tested which one's better, but yeah, just whatever you get, you know, because it really depends on how lucky you are. But justice damage, attack, I think she's still gonna do good damage, because on my Veronica I actually have attack and she still cooks. So yeah, justice damage. Then over here you obviously want to go attack, because she's gonna be, you know, DPSing a lot. Just having that extra 25% attack is gonna help her just do much more damage. So that's the memory fragments I personally go with. And now the last thing that we're going to get into is her team comps. And I'm going to be honest, you could fit Beryl in there enough any team comp. I'm going to be honest, because she's just going to be doing her own thing so much that she's going to be fine. Like, obviously, you probably want to have a healer there so she doesn't die or your team doesn't die. But because of how she works so passively good, because all you're really going to be doing is using the upgrade cards on her, and using her guilty pleasure, and using this, where both of these cost 0, and you're probably going to want to get rid of these 4 cards, and honestly you're not really going to be touching Beryl. After that, you're not really going to be touching Beryl, because it's going to cost 0. Her cards that you're going to be using is going to cost 0, and one of them is going to be costing 1. So you're hardly going to be using Beryl's cards, you know, and you just want to have a whole bunch of retain cards in your hand, so you don't even really need to like make Beryl a focus. So you could just pair her up with another DPS unit. You could pair her up with a Kalipi. Yeah, you could just pair her up with so many units, because she's just gonna, you know, do her own thing, get her cards in your hand, then, you know, just do her damage. You know, you could probably run a Ray with her, you know, with that morale. You know, that morale is always gonna be nice, or maybe to get the draw so you could get more Beryl cards. But you could obviously just pair up with Mika, as you could do with everyone else anyways. But yeah, I think, like, I don't know if she has the best in slot team, because she could just work in so many teams, if I'm being honest. Like, you could literally just throw Mika, Beryl, and whatever character you want after that. You could just run a DPS character. Like, you could run DPS character, Beryl, and Mika, and you're good. You know, I think Beryl could also work really well with Rin, because Rin, she's selfish, but she wants that attack stance, right? And Beryl's not gonna take away from her attack stance, even though Beryl's gonna be doing a crap ton of damage for you. So it kind of works really well. Characters that like Rin, you know, I've run Beryl with my Mei Lin, works really well. You know, I think Tressa, a 4-star team, a Tressa, Beryl, and Mika, I think could work really well together as well. You know, if you could use Ray as the healer with Beryl, then another DPS unit, I think that could also work too. But yeah, in terms of team comp, like, I don't really need to get too into it, because she could just work well with a lot of, you know, characters, if I'm being honest. Like, you could use her as the main DPS, then have a support, like 2 supports. You could run her with Ray and Mika if you want. You know, you could run her with a Cassius, Nia, and just flex. Honestly, like, Beryl's probably gonna allow you to, you know, have flex units, if I'm being honest, man. She's gonna be doing a crap ton of damage for you. But look, that's gonna be it for the build video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, run up. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out.